Guys, there is no amount of yarn that's ever going to hold this up and make it comfortable or look nice. No. Hello. This week's video is going to be a little different. My kids are both graduating from the schools they're at, like moving up to the next school. And because of that, there are all these programs that keep happening at these campuses to say goodbye and move on. My daughter's going to be in 5th grade, and there's like 3 things this week, and then there's next week, and then my son has things this week, and then next week. And this has just been going on a while, but it's taking up so much of my time that I haven't been able to really make anything for this week. So it's just going to be me talking, and I hope that's okay. So I was going to go back through some of y'all's questions that y'all have asked in the past and answer those, and hopefully this will be good. You're just going to hear me speak nonsense, but I am drinking Snoop. So that should be fun. And it is 11:48 in the morning. It's not even noon yet. Who knows what's actually going to fall out of my mouth? We don't know. And Tater is here with me, as I'm sure you're going to hear. He is snoring as usual. I always enjoy knowing about people, their real lives, so bless you. You'll find out about the real life. Will my hubby ever do a cameo? I kind of doubt it. I don't know. Zach is definitely more serious than me, and we need that in this relationship. We need somebody to kind of bring me to a level of normalcy. That's what he does. He keeps me from being so weird out in public because we need that. And he is serious. Zach is serious, and he needs me to help him loosen up. We're a good balance, but I doubt he'd be shy or anything, but I don't know if he'd ever come on. He may. I won't say never, but I don't know if he ever would. But we'll see. And would my kids ever come on? I doubt it too. They just aren't interested in that kind of thing these days. But maybe this summer I'll be able to do some videos and you can see us do things. I don't know. I rarely remember a camera, and my iPhone camera is crap. So I don't have easy access to stuff all the time. So we'll see. Have I ever yarn bombed? No, I haven't. And I don't know if I would here in my town, because my town is kind of stuffy when it comes to things like that. They like uniformity, and they don't like things that haven't been passed through the city council sort of stuff. So I doubt I would do anything outside of my little area here. But I might do something in my backyard, because putting it in the front yard, the HOA is going to write us up or something. I'm always scared of doing stuff like that, but I love the idea. And one of y'all, Sabine, and she's all the way in the UK, sent me a book about yarn bombing, and it's so neat, but I don't know yet where I would do that. But I think it's such an awesome idea. Let's see. Have I ever ridden a motorcycle? Yes, many motorcycles. I don't at this age because my bottom be massive, and they're not comfortable at this age anymore to me. And then I am anxiety ridden, and I've seen too many shows, and they're killers. Motorcycles are killers. So no, I don't do motorcycles at all anymore. Zach used to ride one, and he had a motorcycle when he was in the Navy, and he was stationed in San Diego. He had a motorcycle while he was there, and I always imagine him being kind of like Tom Cruise, riding down the road in his leather jacket and his white t-shirt, though I don't think it was anything like that. But that's what I like to picture, is Zach in the white t-shirt with the bomber jacket down there on the highway in San Diego. He's ridden them, had them, and I've ridden them, and I don't ever want to ride one again. Now, these questions are from my friend Susan over at Husky Mama, and she always makes me giggle. Do I still want to stock yarn at Hobby Lobby as a career? Yes. Yes. I don't see a problem with that. If I could do it at night when no one is there and I can touch all the things and just put them nicely and even and orderly, I would be in heaven, really and truly. My husband says that that would be a torture prison for him, to do anything the same way every day for the rest of his life. Me, I consider that very therapeutic, and yes, I'd be touching yarn all day. Yeah, still do that. What non-crochet talent or superpower would you like to have? Sleeping. I would like to sleep and wake up not hurting. That's a fun part of this age of life is I get so excited to go to bed at night, but I also dread it because I'm like, I'm gonna hurt so bad in the morning. So bad, and I do. I hurt so bad in the morning when I wake up. I don't know how this started. I don't know. I've even been trying to work out and, you know, can y'all see my muscles? It's been like 3 days. Don't look at the bottom, just the top part. It's right here. There's a muscle right there. It's kind of hidden, but it's there. Sleeping. I would just like to sleep as a superpower. Just drop, go to sleep. I would love that. What are my favorite yarn sites? Love Crafts is one of my favorite ones, and Hobie is another one. I don't always shop on Premier. I do sometimes. And Lion Brand, I'm never really on theirs that much simply because I don't know the yarns very well. So I don't want to spend the money and then be disappointed in what I get. So I like to watch, you know, people going over yarns and seeing what all's out there. Those two have most of what I want. And if I'm going to use the Yarn Art jeans, which is what I've been liking here recently, I buy that on Amazon. Can we pinky swear to be friends forever? Here, put your pinky there. Yes, I got you, girl. We're besties. If you designed a pattern, would I be a tester for you? I think I would. I need you to set your bar real low because I have only tested one other pattern. I don't really know what I'm doing as a tester. I'm gonna be honest. I don't know. If I have to take a lot of pictures and have a time limit, I'm not your girl. But if you just want me to do it, to say I did it, I'd do it. Yes. Yes, I'd do it. When am I coming to Wisconsin? I'm so sorry. I don't get to leave Texas hardly ever. But I have been to Wisconsin. Before Zach, I was with a guy who was a pilot. And we went to Oshkosh up there in Wisconsin. Beautiful. I love the Dells. Stayed at the University of Wisconsin. There was no air conditioning in there. Blew my mind. Blew my mind because here in Texas, you don't go anywhere unless there's AC. So I was flabbergasted that there was no air conditioning where we stayed. I was like, I don't know what this strange world is because that was amazing. And we weren't even hot. I was like, that is not what it is here where I live. But we rarely get to travel these days, so I don't see that happening anytime soon. Your next question, if we were to RV, where would we go? We actually used to have an RV. We've had two, but during COVID, we actually sold it because that's when my mom's health started going down. But when we had it, we went to several places here in Texas. We went to Arkansas. We suffered through the roads in Oklahoma, and Zach refused to stop because I wanted to go to the Pioneer Woman's place, but he said no, because I'm not staying on these roads any longer. And really, I didn't blame him because we were just about to lose our teeth from all the chattering. The roads were horrible in Oklahoma. And see, where else did we go? We went to New Mexico in the winter. That wasn't smart. We got caught in a small blizzard. Don't recommend that. The water froze and stuff, but it made for some good memories. But I don't think I want to do that again. But we were stupid, so there was that. And her last question is toilet paper over and under. It is over. That is the only correct answer. Scientifically proven, that is the most cost efficient. You will get the most bang for your buck. Over. If I come to your house and it is under, I will fix it. Do not worry. I will save you money. I will make your life easier by doing that. Under is not an option. I'm sorry. I am anal, and that is something, speaking of toilet paper, that was not a good segue right there. Apologize. But no. Under is just not an option. It's only over. There's a bunch of new people on here, and for those that don't know, my mother's totally blind. She has been all of her life, and she lives here with me and my husband and my two kids. This first question is, does my mom read Braille? Yes, she does. If so, how hard was it for her to learn? Well, my mother was born blind. My grandmother fell off the back porch and fell onto her stomach, and they think that was probably around the time my mom was developing her eyes. And they really didn't know she was blind until she was about 2 or 3 weeks old, when she should have started focusing on things and tracking and following. and she wasn't doing that, and that's when they started running all these tests, and they could really never give a definitive reason why she was blind. They ended up just calling it glaucoma, but glaucoma is very genetic, and nobody in our family had it. I think it was at that time just kind of a catch-all. There's really no good answer other than thinking it was probably that fall. And when my mom turned 6 and it was time for her to go to school, she lived in a small town here outside of Houston called Huntsville. The schools were not prepared to take care of a child who was blind. They didn't know how to teach a blind kiddo like we have services today. So she was sent to the Texas School for the Blind in Austin when she was 6. And at that time, it was a residential school. So she lived there all the time and then could come home like once a month. So I can't even imagine how hard that was for my grandmother to basically just hand over her child like that. But she did, and it was a good thing for my mother. My mother cherishes her time that she spent at the School for the Blind, and she learned Braille in 6 weeks, and she ended up graduating from the Texas School for the Blind. It was a wonderful place. The Texas School for the Blind is still world renowned. It's one of the best schools for the blind in the United States. It's an amazing place. The kinds of children they work with now are very different than when my mother was there, but it is still such an amazing place. Have either of us learned sign language? No. When I was teaching and I taught in Houston ISD, we had the largest population of blind children in the state of Texas, which meant we also had the largest population of deaf-blind students in the state of Texas. But you really kind of need some special training to work with the deaf-blind, and sign language just was never one of my interests. I love Braille. I like the puzzle of Braille. And so I've always stuck with that. And my mom's hand dexterity has never been good. She's never really shown an interest in learning sign language. So no, neither one of us knows sign language. But I do know about Juan, the yarn addict, and his mom, and I think that's really cool that he has a deaf parent and I have a blind parent. I think that's kind of neat. And then another question was, what would I never crochet? Oh, that is so easy. A bra. Guys, there is no amount of yarn that's ever going to hold this up and make it comfortable or look nice. No, those little tiny twigs of girls that can do that, more power to them. I have zero interest in ever doing that, or pants, or shorts, ever, or really shirts. I have no desire to crochet apparel, none. That I will never do that. I like home goods and I like amigurumi. I don't want to measure anything here. I don't want to know what size I need to crochet to wear. I don't want to know. No, so I'm not going to do it. Don't ever expect me to do apparel. If I do, it's going to be a shocker for us all. I have no desire to do the hexi-cardi. I don't, and I live in Texas. Y'all, it's hot. The thought of wearing yarn pretty much any time of year is really a stretch. I need to have the AC cranked down big time in here to make that even a possibility. No, I don't wanna. So absolutely none of that ever gonna happen. Also, I've seen a lot of people say this and I agree. I'm never gonna crochet a penis. No, I do not understand that world. I don't want to snuggle up to a penis. Not for me. When I go on Etsy and I'm looking for things that are kind of weird, I've even looked up Christmas stuff, and then there's one of them right there, a pillow, a crocheted one for Christmas pillow penis. No. And do you know how weird my husband would look at me if I ever brought something like that into my bed to cuddle? No, it's not gonna happen. No. I used to sleep with a dog, and okay, there's a reason. I am asthmatic, and I have to have something kind of long that I sleep with on my side. I think it keeps my boobs separated so I can breathe better. I don't know. I don't know why, but I've always had to sleep with something kind of long, elongated, and on my side. Always have. When Zach met me, he found me sleeping with this dog that I've had for 46 years. I'm not lying. He is in the other room in my closet because Zach won't let me have him in the bed anymore. But it's not how it sounds. Fred was a gift to me when I was 4. And he used to have a radio in his stomach. And you could tune it and you could carry around Fred and listen to the radio. In 1979, that was cool. Well, the radio finally died. And so I took the radio out. You could unzip his belly and remove the radio, but it had 2 little holes from where the knobs were and then the zipper part. So then what I did, because I loved Fred, y'all, I love Fred. I still do. He is named after the dog in Smokey and the Bandit that used to ride around in the 18-wheeler with Jerry Reed. Because I had a thing for Jerry Reed. I didn't like the Bandit because I knew he was out of my league, but I loved Jerry Reed, and he had that dog, Fred, and that's what my dog was named after. When the radio died and I took it out, there was a big space. When I was younger, I was sick a lot with asthma. I'd been hospitalized. I mean, it was a big deal. I was sick a lot. And so I would always put my cough drops and stuff inside of Fred, and then I never had to get up because I'd just reach into Fred and get my cough drops and I could just put my wrappers back in there. I had done that for 30 years. He went to college with me. He was with me in high school, elementary. Fred is a part of my life. And when I met Zach, Fred was still in the bed with me. He thought that was weird. I don't know. I'm not going to judge. Maybe so. Maybe it was. All that to say, if he can't stand that dog sleeping with me, there's no way he's going to let me sleep with a penis pillow. Nor do I want to. I really want to make that clear. I do not want my head between the top part of that. No. You can tell the wine's kicking in. What is my favorite music? Oh my goodness. Right now it is Benson Boone. I love that boy. I'm really not at all attracted to the little mustache and the little curly hair, but somehow it works on him, kind of like Magnum P.I., Tom Selleck. Take me back. But he's kind of like the short little version with a lot of energy, and I think he is adorable. Pretty much any song by Benson right now I love. I actually bought tickets for me and my daughter to go see him later this summer because she likes him too. I don't know if it's as much as me though. So this is really for me. I want to go see Benson. I want to see this little guy flip and do stuff on the stage and sing songs and still be able to breathe. Fascinating to me. I am jealous. I can barely talk and catch my breath. But I have very eclectic taste in music. For instance, when I was 16 years old, do you remember those CD of the month clubs? Like you would join and then you could get like 10 CDs for a penny. And then you just had to buy a CD every month. Do y'all remember that? Well, I did that. Guess what CDs I chose? Guess. You won't guess. I chose 1940s big band music. Artie Shaw, Benny Goodman, Harry James, I don't know, Count Basie. I love 40s music. I love it. I love big band music. I just do. And then I bought a World War II album and Doris Day singing Sentimental Journey. Oh, man, I love Doris Day. So then I bought the Doris Day's greatest hits when I was 16 years old. What's 16 years old in 92 would buy a Doris Day greatest hits album? I did. Also Petula Clark. I love her too. There are so many. I love old music, and I also love Rob Zombie. So my tastes are very eclectic. And Beastie Boys, I love Beastie Boys so much. Alternative music, Depeche Mode, The Cure, John Williams, Star Wars composer. Love him. Indiana Jones, you know, all of that. I love me some John Williams. Speaking of, okay, so the wine is really kicking in now, but we're going to go with this. We're going to keep riding this train right now. Did y'all know that John Williams is the father of the guy who was the lead singer of that band Africa? Did y'all know that? That was his son. He also sang the song that was the opening song for that old cartoon show, The Gummy Bears. I have a lot of weird knowledge of people, and I apologize, but it is fascinating to me. I don't know why I like to know this stuff, but I do like to know it. I think I should probably call it here because we don't know what else I'm gonna say. And it's probably not safe for any of us for me to continue going. But for those of you who do watch, God bless. Thank you so much. And I hope you've enjoyed today, and thank you for being patient with me, and pray for me in the next 2 weeks as my students move on up to the next school, because this is long and expensive to say goodbye, but we're doing that right now. But I'm looking forward to seeing you next time here on the Rumi Mill. I gotta finish this, so I'm gonna go now. I probably need to lay down. Maybe I won't hurt if I've had wine. Maybe I can sleep better that way. I doubt it. They say you can't. I don't know. I should try though.